Are you looking for a budget magnetic keyboard, or maybe a wireless one with a lot of different features, or just a high quality, amazing sounding magnetic keyboard? Well, one of these magnetic keyboards might be for you. Let's go ahead and check them out. Now that seems to be everything inside the box. Very nice and simple packaging for all of the keyboards. All of the accessories that you will be needing will come with the box, even extra switches, some braided cables for everything actually. I have no problems with the unboxings. But okay, first impressions on the keyboards. They definitely have their own unique customers or buyers because they all have their own unique strengths. Now two of these keyboards, the HE68 is made out of plastic, and as well as the HE65 Mag, but they definitely feel very high quality. They don't really feel cheap. Then the MagForce 68 is made out of aluminum full metal case. Very nice. For the HE68 over here, I got the purple and white, but you can also get it in black red. Now for the MagForce 68 and the HE65 Mag, there's only one variation I can see at the moment, which is the ones I got over here. Now moving on to the keycaps, they all actually have pretty similar keycaps. They are all cherry profile PBT double shot keycaps, as you can see. Very high quality. I do like how they look like. Hopefully I don't get these two mixed up, so let's go ahead and put this back, or never mind, just over here maybe, because now we're gonna go and move on to the switches, which is gonna be different for each keyboard, but I'm pretty sure you can interchange them, meaning they're hot swappable with Gateron or TTC like magnetic switches. The HE65 Mag over here has these Gateron magnetic white switches. Open bottom. I've tested these switches before, not that bad. They're not the most stable switches, but they are pretty stable. I have no problems with their stability. And for the MagForce in the middle over here, it's using these Gateron magnetic Jade Pro switches. I've tested these switches before. One of the best sounding magnetic switches, also pretty minimal wiggle wobble. Then for the HE68, these are the Epomaker magnetic pink switches. They are the only switch that are not from Gateron in this lineup of keyboards. They're also pretty stable actually, very nice. And they have closed bottom as well. Here's a little sound test of all the switches. They all have their own unique sounds and feel, especially the open bottom versus closed bottom comparison. This might be personal preference, but I personally like the closed bottom sound more. But yeah, some people might prefer the 4mm range of these switches, though, the open bottom ones. I'm gonna flash the specs of the switches in the screen if you're interested. But yeah, now let's go ahead and take a listen to the keyboards with the switches and the keycaps on. Now, which sounds best will definitely be personal preference and will be up to you, but I think personally, this is the best sounding and the highest quality. As expected, spoiler alert, this is also more expensive than these other two magnetic keyboards. But yeah, what do you think is the best sounding? Comment down below. They also all feel pretty unique. I'm a bit familiar with the Jade Pros already though, so yeah, I really like how this feels like. But yeah, these guys also don't feel bad. I think the feel and the sound of these keyboards are still definitely amazing, especially for the price. Stabilizers are also not rattly, especially for the MagForce over here. I think this is the best stabilizers. But yeah, again, for the price difference, I don't think these are bad at all. You could definitely tell they made a lot of efforts in making this keyboard sound good. There is some foam over here and some lube I can see there. Very nice, as well as these other two keyboards. Not sure if you can see, but there is some lube there and some foam as well. Now we're gonna talk about the prices more later, but I'm just gonna tell you that this is the cheapest keyboard out of all of these three. And as you can see, there is still a lot of efforts and pre-lubed stabilizers as well. You could definitely tell they made a lot of efforts in making these keyboards sound good. These two keyboards, by the way, have aluminum alloy plates. Then for the MagForce in the middle has an FR4. But okay, enough with the quality and the sounds of the keyboard. How about their performance? Now, of course, they're all magnetic keyboards. They will have rapid trigger, adjustable actuation points that we're going to be checking out more later. Apparently, they all have SOCD as well, but we'll see again in the software what else features they have. Now, they will also all have 8,000 hertz polling rate, and this is also for the wired and wireless of the HE65 Mag. And yeah, this is the only one with the triple connection out of these three keyboards, so these two will be wired. So yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and plug these keyboards in and see their RGB and their softwares, their other features. Okay, so let's plug this keyboard in. There is the RGB, it's pretty bright. And for this one, there it is as well. Is it just me or am I not seeing any RGB below? And now let's turn on the 2.4 GHz mode. And there it is. The screen is also shining, and in order to control it, I'm not sure yet. But yeah, the RGB here is also pretty bright, pretty much for all of the keyboards. But okay, I have the websites in the description where you can buy these keyboards from. If you just scroll down a bit, you'll be able to find the downloads tab. So let's download the drivers, and let me see, is this actually the same driver? Wait, this one looks like it's web-based. Okay, so for the MagForce, yeah, you don't have to download anything. But okay, I extracted the file over here for the Epomaker driver. Let's see, this should be the one for the HE65 Mag and the HE68 from what it seems. Yep, as you can see, we can also customize it over here. But yeah, this will be easier since we do have the same software for both the HE65 Mag and the HE68. They both will have snap key. They can go down to as low as 0.1 millimeters. We can also set some dead zone, as you can see. Rapid trigger can go down to as low as 0.01. We also have rapid stabilization. We also have anti-miss operation mode, which makes the keyboard more stable, I'm pretty sure. You can read this, and yeah, let's confirm that. But yeah, I'm not gonna go to too much details on why I set these specific settings. I already made a separate video for that. But yeah, you can copy my settings if you want. Here are my settings. I'm pretty satisfied with this. And then for the advanced settings, yes, of course, snap key for my AD, just like so. Confirm that. And we have other settings, key settings. You can reprogram the keys if you'd like. You can also change the FN settings. We can make macros, light settings. We can also share our settings over here. My account, we can log in, we can update our keyboard as well and do all these different stuffs. But yeah, pretty functional software. I have no problems with it. The settings, the rapid trigger, the rapid snappy, or the SOCD I meant, is working amazingly. We also have DKS mod tap toggle key, and we can also calibrate. We actually haven't done that, so I do recommend doing that before using the keyboard. But yeah, again, pretty much the same settings as well over here for the HE65 Mag, but the difference is we can customize the screen over here. So let me just set the right settings for this one. Pretty much the same as the last one, and again, yeah, pretty much the same settings. Then for the screen, we can upload a GIF or GIF. You can even draw if you like or make your own animations, but you can also just go to the share tab, I'm pretty sure, share animations, and look at what others are using. Let's use this Kirby sleeping, and you have to plug in the keyboard, by the way, if you want to upload. So let's just do that then, and there it is. As you can see, very nice. Another thing I'm curious about is, can I change the knob function? I can't really press it. It's just automatically set for the volume, mute, unmute. I have no problems with that though. Probably most of you will be using it on that. But yeah, that's gonna be it for the software of these two keyboards. Now let's go ahead and move on to the cloud, or the web-based software. The cloud drive can go down to 0.02 millimeters, and then rapid trigger dynamics 0.02 millimeters as well. But I do want to set some dead zone, so like these guys, nice. And warning running, please recalibrate first. Okay, let's do that then. That's gonna be for over here. Yep. You can also do manual if we'd like, and then we also have restore, fast, game, and extreme, so some presets if we'd like. And for the advanced, we also have DKS, SOC, DMPT, mod tap, and then toggle key, and it's pretty much like RDT. So we actually have more features for the MagForce 68 over here. Then change shaft, so depending on which you're using. We can also change the basic layer, very customizable as you can see. FN layer, backlight if we'd like to change the RGB. You can even customize. You can get very customizable with the colors, others, device rate 8K hertz. I actually didn't see any way to change the polling rate for the other two keyboards in the software, so yeah, this is something. I'm guessing this is sleep time. We can also check for updates, light, dark. We can also game share if we'd like. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, I do expect this to be better for the price, again, not gonna lie, but yeah, this definitely has more features. I hope in the future they'll also do a web-based software for these other keyboards if possible, not just the MagForce. But yeah, I'm pretty satisfied with how my settings are. Now let's go ahead and test them in the keyboard inspector app. Now this should be 8K hertz polling rate first for the MagForce. There is some jumps on the 4K, but yeah, 8K hertz polling rate, it is pretty accurate. Let's do one more time. Yeah, pretty similar results. And now let's go and move on to the HE68. Same cable, by the way. 8000 hertz, okay. Pretty accurate as well. And then for the HE65 Mag, let's actually do the 2.4 GHz dongle. This also should be 8K hertz polling rate. And it actually is. And that is on wireless. Very nice. But okay, without further ado, let's go ahead and test these guys out in game.
Starting it. Stand.
I'm back.
Power.
One enemy remaining.
Time is for us.
Start it. Go.
I'm back.
You had your fun. My turn.
Miss me?
Have one of these.
In some.
Stream.
Keep going. Canteen.
One
Tower
enemy
one.
remaining.
80 race.
One enemy remaining.
Fake teleport. Cutting through. Fake teleport.
Clutch.
Nice.
I already one-wayed it. Nice.
Too easy.
One enemy remaining.
Oh, wait. I thought that was too low at first. Oh.
There's some vice type stuff.
I'm back.
Oh, wait. The ISO hit the vice. That's why the wall. In there. Planting. I think they're.
One enemy remaining.
Oh, next to you, Mix. Nice.
So after playing and testing the HE68, the HE65 Mag, and the MagForce 68, here's my experience with the keyboards. Like I mentioned earlier, they all have their unique strengths, their own target audience or buyer. And there's quite a difference in price, so you know, if you're in a budget, you might like the cheaper option more compared to the more expensive one. But yeah, if quality is your focus and you have the budget, then yeah, of course you'll like the more expensive, higher quality full aluminum case one. But you're not gonna lie, despite their different prices and quality, performance wise, I didn't really notice any difference. I mean, looking at the numbers, they're all 8000 hertz polling rate apparently. And you also saw the keyboard inspector app results earlier, they're pretty 8000 hertz. So yeah, if performance is your priority, I doubt you're gonna be noticing any difference between these keyboards. So if you just really want the best performance, just get the cheapest variation over here and save yourself a few dollars. But yeah, don't expect it to sound like as good as the more expensive one. Don't expect it to be as high quality as the more expensive version though. But yeah, while we're on the HE68, let's also talk about who else I would recommend this keyboard to. Now this is the cheapest variation out of all of the keyboards in this video. You can get this for just around $59, but with discount code EPSPRING10 you can get 10% off, so it will only be $53.99, which I would consider a budget price, and I think it is worth it for this keyboard, especially for the performance. You're getting 8000 Hz polling rate, you do get SoC in all of the features that you will be needing. I didn't really have any major issues with the keyboard, and if you remember earlier, I did kind of have an issue with the RGB RGB, but that was just a defective unit, and they actually gave me a fixed unit over here, which with all of the RGB lighting up now. But you don't really have to worry about that because they do have a 30-day replacement policy for factory defective products, so they got you covered. They even have a 30-day return policy, no reason free return, but yeah, you can read more about that on their website. So yeah, if you're really on a budget, then I would recommend this keyboard, the HE68, out of these three, because this is the cheapest, and it does give you an amazing performance, amazing experience already. But okay, now for the HE65 Mag, I would recommend this for those that want a little bit of a more premium experience, not as premium as the most expensive variation, the MagForce, but this is definitely a step up from the HE68. I mean, you do have that tri-mode connectivity, so if you're really looking for that wirelessness, then you got it over here. And we also have a screen and a knob compared to the other two keyboards, so if that's something that interests you, then you might like this. I also personally think it sounds a little better than the HE68 stock, but again, can be totally personal preference. Now it does feel a little bit higher quality as well, might be because of the weight, the battery, and all that stuff, but yeah, it does give a higher quality compared to the HE68. Now of course, this will also be a little bit more expensive compared to the HE68. At least you can get this for around $99.99, but with the discount code it will be just below $90, which I still think is considered a budget option. Actually, not as budget as the HE68, but yeah, if you have just a little bit of a higher budget and you really want those features that I mentioned over here, then yeah, this keyboard might be the one for you. The HE65 Mag, I didn't really have any issues when using the keyboard, didn't really hold me back when I was gaming. It does have all of the features that I needed, more than you will need actually, but you're talking about the software like the SOCD, DKS, it's pretty similar to the HE68, it does have all of those stuffs. But yeah, I also think this keyboard is worth it. Now moving on to the MagForce 68, which is the most expensive variation, but is also the most high quality. You probably heard it from the sound alone, or at least for me personally, I think this sounds so good. Other than the more amazing switches compared to those, it also has a full aluminum metal body, which does not just improve the durability and the feel of the keyboard, but also the sound. Now performance wise, as I mentioned, didn't really experience or notice any difference comparing to the HE68 and 65 Mag. They're pretty much the same 8000 Hz polling rate. So yeah, if you don't really care about the sound, the better quality, and you just want to save some dollars, then I don't know if this will be for you, since you're pretty much getting almost, or if not almost, the same performance with the other two options. But if budget is not really the problem and you want the most premium quality keyboard, then this might be the one for you. But I do want to share my honest experience with the software of the MagForce 68 though. Now I do appreciate the web-based software that they provided over here compared to the softwares you have to download on the other keyboards, but that web-based software still kinda has some bugs. Like at first I couldn't use a single advanced feature like the SOCD, DKS, but with a firmware update, the SOCD did start working, as well as the toggle key, as well as mod tap and MPT. But yeah, the AND key and the DKS still did not work for some reason. They did give me some tutorials on how to use it, but it's just bugging really still. But yeah, sooner or later those little bugs will probably get fixed. Now another little bug I experienced, it's just a little bug, not really the end of the world, very easy to fix, is if you add a advanced feature like SOCD, let's say, and then you tried removing it, it doesn't get removed automatically by just removing the SOCD. You will actually have to go to the remap function and then select the key you added the advanced feature to. For example, SOCD, I have my A and D on SOCD. In order to remove the SOCD, you will have to go to the remap and select A and then program it to the A function. So it will just kind of get resetted and remove those advanced features, which is, again, a little bug. You can easily fix it. Doesn't really affect the software much, but yeah, it's a little inconvenient. But yeah, I really appreciate them developing a web-based software for a more convenient use with this keyboard. But again, there's just a little bit of bugs here and there. Very functional and usable though. All of the features that you will be needing will probably be there. But yeah, for the price, you're gonna be paying $159, but with the discount code, it will be just $143.10, which is definitely not on the budget side of things anymore. But in exchange for the quality you're getting over here, and if you think those features that I told you are good and you want those, then yeah, this keyboard might be for you. I would recommend this keyboard for those that wants the best quality and budget isn't really a problem for them. So yeah, I hope I was able to help you pick which keyboard is the right keyboard for you. I do like the fact that there is just more and more options, more and more competition in the market right now. Definitely will be beneficial for the community. But yeah, if you're interested in any of those keyboards, please use my affiliate links in the description down below. It will be first link all of these keyboards. I would really appreciate it and would would support the channel a lot. And a little disclaimer, these keyboards are sent to me by Epomaker, but that won't change my review though. Everything that I've been telling you, my opinions, my review about these keyboards are my honest opinions and review. But yeah, I'll go ahead and see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to stay grateful and remember, Jesus loves you. Bye bye.